Hello there, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to Dicesylvania. We are a bunch of lovable geeks from Romania who this time play Starfinder. Yeah, we're going to space, baby. So, welcome. We're glad to have you here. We'll quickly start with introduction of who we have at the table today. We're starting with Valentin.
Hey everyone.
David.
On a spaceship.
Yeah. Steph.
Hello.
Ionuț.
Hey.
And Eduard. Yes, we are playing Starfinder, and Starfinder 2nd edition, that is. And just to get this out of the way, as the time of this recording is still in playtest, if you're watching this in the future, it doesn't make sense, it's fine. We are here to tell a story more than anything, and I hope you are here with us for the ride. Well, without any further ados then, let's go and start Operation N.U.L.L. Space, the final frontier, as some might say, yet one would be of the opinion that there are further layers to this multitude of universes than meets the eye. And thus, we turn our gaze to the space in between space, a dimension which sits on the foundation of cosmos, a place which a priest of the god Triune might call the realm, where the esoteric underlying code of the universe is made manifest. This transitory plane is more commonly known as the Drift, and it is where everyday starships are found in transit in between various points in material plane, as time and space hold more precedence here than in any other realm. And in this alluring and enigmatic plane, in between pockets of pink-purplish stardust, we observe a spaceship making its voyage without any care in the world yet. This standard model of a cavalry venture ship does bear the marks of being an official sanctioned Starfinder Society ship, yet it's been heavily modified with personalized graffitis all over its hull, and yet the name of the vessel stands proudly displayed, reading the Love Boat. Inside said starship, in the somewhat disorganized and all over the place cockpit, we see standing lazily in the pilot seat the apparent captain of this fine vessel. And we would like the captain to introduce himself.
Isekub is this big old reptile. He's a Vesk. He's got the aged gray skin, but still a sharp look in his eyes despite the aging reptilian body. And right now he's not in any intense predatory position. He's just laying back on a chair, feet up on the con, filing his claws. Every other minute, when there's debris in the way, just nudging a little controller to skew out of the way. And saving up all that energy for what's ahead. Your
chill state right now, it's disturbed very abruptly by a being, we'll call it, that's aboard the ship. A poor excuse of a goblin, we call it, like a very a Gretchen, if we may call it so, with a greenish skin, like long snout, very small, that's frantically running now to the cockpit, asking you.
It's slapped over back out of the cockpit before it gets to say anything.
Put me in the box. I need to speak with my friend.
Huh?
Box.
What box?
Where you always put me to hide me from the boss.
What'd you do? You did something.
What'd
you do?
Just need to speak with my friend in the box.
You got a friend in your box?
I told you, I drew him. He has blue face. He's funny, and I also like to strangle him sometimes, but punch him. But
you know, I think we're looking at a case of generational trauma here, in which all the violence that's being output onto you, Kiki, you are outputting onto this poor friend of yours.
And I need it. I need it.
I open up his little hiding place beneath one of the cockpit boxes.
He jumps in and he has like a crayon in there and just smashes all over like his imaginary friend that he made, just the face of a guy.
You're coming back out in 10 minutes to get your ass kicked, because I need the big guy revved up for what's ahead.
Yeah.
Close his lid.
And at this point, there is a person who sees that Kiki is missing. And what is that said person doing, and how does he look and everything?
That person is stomping his heavy feet towards the cockpit. As he moves, he carelessly smashes through whatever is in his way. He knows that if there's a thing in his way, it should simply move or will itself out of existence from there, even though it sometimes is a wall, and that has caused many problems on the ship. And as he approaches the cockpit, this being, this green, big, tusked orc dressed with makeshift power armor, which looks more like scrap put together and carelessly, I guess, welded onto him, enters the cockpit and yells, "Kiki! Where the smoky hells are you?"
Oh, he's managed to hide again?
Yeah.
Listen, big guy, you know I don't mind you smashing stuff up, but you gotta let Pip know so he can fix it, you know?
He always knows. There's a big hole whenever I go.
Right. But like, he's busy on engine, so maybe if you want to let him know you had another flare-up.
Yeah, where's Kiki? He's toying with my games again.
Oh, what'd he do?
He's toying with them. He shows you I guess, would be like a control panel that should display a game, but displays the light control fixtures on the ship. The button ain't working.
And that's Kiki's doing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was playing with it earlier. He's not allowed to touch the big things.
Say, big guy, what would you say if you found out Kiki has a friend?
I'll make another right. I'd eat him. Oh, he's better than Kiki. Kiki gets eaten.
Right, that makes sense. Well, I'm sure he'll turn up real soon and get his punishment.
Right. Takes his big bulking hand out of the cockpit door and he walks about the ship yelling for Kiki.
Yeah. And in the room somewhere next to the cockpit, it's also a somewhat more relaxing lounge area, even though now it has been quite disturbed by this commotion aboard. And in that said lounge area, there are two other figures who are trying to enjoy at least some sort of time of peace. And we do see there somebody who, being in this said space of the drift, almost tries to attune with the forces and the realm itself, trying to feel its energies, and somebody who really is missing the view of stars, as they are quite absent from this plane, and doom scrolling through his data pad in search of beautiful stars. We see these two fine gentlemen who have their peace disturbed. Please, Valentin and Steph.
I quickly move my fingers on the tablet, changing from the screen controlling the lights to something akin to a news feed. Someone with more expertise looking closer would see that it actually describes a lot of the inner workings of the ship. Poor Tremos, making sure there are backups upon backups for different issues that might appear due to the other people on the ship. doing their daily things, like orcs and everything. Thermos, or known as Pitstop among his crew, is a pretty large vest, but opposed to the captain, it's pretty obvious he's been touched by drift. You can see a lot of small computer components lodged into his face, into his hands, sometimes even erratic electrical impulses just glowing through them. Even in his eyes sometimes go a light shade of blue while he's working on his tablet, and sometimes you can see his mind drifting somewhere and his view just staring into nothingness.
Haha, drifting. Yeah.
It seems like he doesn't necessarily hear anyone around while his colleague is...
Well, Zisen, sitting next to Pitstop, is looking very uncomfortable, trying to meditate. There are no stars in this part of reality, so he's sort of trying to focus on the energy that emanates from the fusion reactor of the ship. This is the closest thing to a star that is not necessarily anywhere close, but anywhere in this reality. Looking very uncomfortable, you see this alien big grey guy with an elongated head. His mouth and nose are covered by a face mask. His eyes are completely black, and he is sitting in sort of a lotus position trying to meditate. His forearms are all arranged in different positions, trying to grasp at the energy, graviton energy around him. Looking again very uncomfortable, very, very disturbed by the lack of gravity, the lack of photon energy. At this point, he doesn't even notice the disturbance in the ship. He's just sitting there trying to concentrate very hard and trying to, at the same time, with his second pair of hands, sometimes pulling out his data pad, looking at stars. Doom scrolling is his way of meditating. And continues to try to meditate.
Yeah. And lastly, you felt that for a few couple of hours, the ship was kind of bumpy, but it's been stabilized. All this due to a very ingenious and very practical handyman you have aboard the ship. This small fella, who now just finished repairing the ship, yet apparently has new things to fix now due to the orcs' doings. Who do we see emerging from the engines, or where were you doing your works?
So you see small stature rat folk. Basically an awakened animal from Pathfinder 2nd edition, compatible.
Yeah.
Dressed up in appropriate attire for a plumber, and has grease all over his facial fur. And he, in fact, finished working on the engines hours ago. But he just adjusted it through connected through a wireless pad, and he's instead been going up to doing some plumbing. And then he comes very happy. That's his pleasure of doing. He comes happy to the lounge area, and he sees a broken door, right?
You see, that
Various damage.
yeah.
What's this I'm saying? Did I make your door large already?
It was closed.
Well,
It should have opened. Or you're gonna learn it.
in that case, I'll take your door away. You can just stroll around butt naked in your room with... Oh wait, that's punishment for us.
Yeah. I think you just gotta live with it.
I'll make every door bigger on this ship, except for my room. You are not allowed in my room.
I didn't even know you had one.
Perfect.
I imagine it's just like a small frame inside a room, and you're.
It's half a door.
But right. So you go about your activities for a little bit, because not long after, there is on the comm units all over the ship a sort of automated message coming from the AI aboard the ship, noticing you that you're close to destination. It says time remaining until emerging at coordinates for YB0. Approximately 2 hours. What do you do?
Well, Pitstop gets up from the couch. I think it's we had enough leisure time. He wakes up his Kasati companion from his meditation while throwing the tablet in his lap. Wake up! Time for work. I'm sure you're not used to it this early.
Just 2 more hours. Okay. I can handle 2 hours.
And Pitstop is slowly going to the cockpit to ask the captain. So what's the plan?
Oh, you're gonna be a nerd about this again, ain't you?
Absolutely.
Come on, it's like 2 hours. It's an hour 55 more to like before we gotta get all antsy about it.
Yeah, but we need to make sure that everybody knows what needs to happen.
Fine. Crew, this is your captain speaking. We are 2 hours out of our destination. Please be sure to have your showers, prep your weapons. Domestic violence, you still need to get in before we get there. Whatever else needs to happen, because then it's all business time. When we land on the deadly planet, we're being sent on a suicide mission on.
Perfect. What's the weather like?
The weather, like trying to get any sort of so to say communication or feedback towards your destination. You see that all transmission gets lost, like there is no reply back. You try to access it, but you're put on a like indefinite loading screen, so that doesn't give you back any response.
The weather at destination seems to be deadly void of no return. Good luck, everyone.
Perfect.
I go to talk to Pitt and basically make sure that do we have any telemetry ready for scanning?
Between none and zilch.
Telemetry.
And no scanners on this ship.
The scanners there on the ship. What these scanners actually do, that doesn't work.
Place we're going to is sucking up any and all signals.
For the less technically inclined,
In 2 hours.
scanner no work.
In 2 hours, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
And in 2 hours, the scanner should start scanning in case we can send anything or get anything from the planet.
Absolutely, if it actually works. It will not.
Is it on standby? Is it working in any way? Is it?
Absolutely, 110%. Pitt, everyone checked it a few hours ago.
Can we make sure of that? It doesn't need to boot out for 5 minutes after we come out of the drift?
Yeah, let me check our antivirus software to make sure it will not boot out and disable our scanners. I will do that. Obviously, ironic. He's not even trying to hide it. On a tone where it feels like, for anybody watching, that he doesn't like being second guessed, and if you want to do it, here.
Don't worry about it, Z. I don't know how the Starfinder Society does it or whatnot, but we took out the antivirus software long ago to make room for more pornographic simulation sims.
It's improved. Double checking my work. That's insulting.
Right, look, boys, we're getting close to the planet. And I need to find Kiki because someone's got to grease me up before we land.
Why? Do you need someone to read your mission instructions for you?
No. I need the grease. If I don't find Kiki, you was the only one small enough to get in them grease. Now, Pip, are you ready to get intimate?
I'll make sure to bring a couple of bombs on me just in case you decide to do that.
Well, let me find Kiki.
I think I might have seen him in the cargo bay.
Oh, you're scared of getting out, Grunt.
Oh no, you don't. Let me open that door.
No!
After Bardic heads out, I knock on the little crevice, open it up.
Yeah.
Come on now, Kiki, it's time to grease up the big guy.
He's still there, like scrolling, looking up frantically. You probably see him at this point.
Kiki!
Right, yes, boss. We'll do it. Yes. Oh, yeah.
I pull out a big chain. And once Kiki gets close enough, I pick him up by the neck. I put the chain on the collar around his neck.
Oh, let me find your oil. My engine needs revving.
Right. Also, there is another beeping signal, not alert or anything, on the ship, and then it's followed by the ship's AI voice saying, if you require assistance with refreshing your knowledge regarding current mission, please feel free to do so.
Isaku, this keeps moving back to default, but every day he sets the voice back to sexy space lady for the voice persona.
Okay,
sets it back again.
you could definitely find a soft to modulate the voice in that manner. You could install it, of course.
Yeah.
And right then, Captain, what shall it be today?
Computer's 25 roll. Well, darling, what I'm thinking is a bit of a slow descent, just to, warm up and give us the 5 minutes to boot up into real space, all good. And then see if we can catch any readings without them being swallowed up. As we prepare our descent away from... and I make sure to input the best estimate Isaku can make of where the danger area he previously scanned to be highest, to be approached carefully and not directly descended into.
Right, got it. Of course, but this can very well be arranged. Anyway, since I do care about you quite a lot, I would like to remind you of things to consider while you do your business over there. To remind you that reports suggesting that psi-storms are rare yet present on the surface of this planet, and recommendations are to seek shelter to avoid contact with the psychoactive winds.
And is there a lull in these winds, or is it just permanent?
Estimate the duration of such events could take up to half a day or a day.
Right, well, if your scanners, darling, my darling love boat, are working when we get there, we'll pick a moment when it's not storming in the brain.
Acknowledged.
But do reroute such concerns to nerd designation Pitstop.
Of course, Captain.
I slightly give our captain a nod, but I also question. Have you thought about any business dealings we're going to do with the people from the research outpost? I know that our Starfinder friends requested to just go and take a look-see. But I've been running with you for a long time. It can't be just that.
Listen, we gotta make Starfinder happy, because then they let us off the hook after catching us stealing from them. So I do want to complete this mission, so just that I don't have to see their faces no more. But that's just like getting shit back on. Now, if some of the precious minerals they've been extracting are no longer found, stuff gets lost in the crisis.
Yeah, exactly. And our chaperone here, I'm sure he wouldn't mind a couple of those minerals. He looks like he could use a long vacation.
I look back, is he dead?
Z is somewhere behind, a bit further away, looking like he needs to go to the toilet very bad.
Yeah, no, he's intelligent. He knows what to hear, what not to hear.
Right.
Does here.
That's going well.
Yeah. All right. So let me know. Anything else you wish to do in this hours, or shall we move on?
No, just even if I don't show Z, that I'm just gonna double check the scanners just to make sure that in case there is any chance of extracting any kind of information from the planet that's supposed to eat all of the signals, we're gonna be as prepared as we can.
Roll me the computers.
Yeah, roll. And also, say Pitstop, how exactly does a psi storm work? Why would you have storms upon the brain?
So first of all, it's 21 computers to try and recalibrate the sensors as best as I can. In terms of psi storms, what kind of knowledge would that be? Maybe
that
I have heard.
could be nature, or I will allow occult as well.
Okay. I will
But
try.
yeah, so with 21,
No, it's normal knowledge skill.
with 21 on computers, you do try your best. You try to boost the signals going out and everything. Yet the interference is still quite strong. You get to a point in which, again, there's no reply back, and you get an error, timeout error, like nothing happens.
I shout throughout the corridors, Z, you have access to the sensors, just in case you want to double check for our Starfinder friends.
Yes.
And I'll try to see if I also
Angrily
have
looking back.
an answer to our captain's question.
Yeah, for the
occultism, which is unfortunately just a 17. So
with the 17, you only get the idea that, like they would be like winds that would probably have psychoactive effects, as also the ship's AI mentioned. And other than that, probably previous reports from the people that were in there and they were sent before the communications have been lost. It's that if you're inside a shelter protected from it, you're fine. Yet on the outside there have been reports that people either just going dull and numb, like standing there for hours, but some are even some more severe, that people started just bleeding out, like almost like scrambling, frying their brains to a point where...
So I'm sure the mayor, Lee, has made sure that his settlement is going to be protected from these kinds of psi storms, but hopefully we won't get caught outside. Is our ship capable of protecting us from these
It should
things?
be, yeah.
So just we don't go outside.
I do check the database. Were there reports of psi storms before the crisis started?
A few. In total, you would have gathered like over the span of this colony, which has been up for 40 years or so. They've only had 5 or so they're rare, as they say.
But now they've become frequent, apparently.
Possibly.
Or
or
it's a coincidence we end up in...
Possibly. They had, like before all communications have been lost, they had one quite recently, sort of, like a month before. So, yeah.
Also, until we arrive, people just take up a torch and bring down the wall to Marduk's room. And instead of the wall, install a holographic wall with no door, just a wall, with just a very low, very weak force field, so he can punch through it and, keep maybe some of the noise down.
Love it.
While you're doing so, we will see a bit of an unfortunate sight. We'll see Marduk lying on his back in his power armor, while Kiki is like snuggled up inside the reactor on Marduk's back that also acts as a jetpack. He's cleaning it up. Marduk is shouting various insults at the poor creature. Both of them look satisfied by him.
In the meantime, Zissin, not wanting to get even more snarky response out of Pitstop, will attempt to set the communication devices to transmit all telemetry scans as soon as we come out of the rift.
Very good. Yeah, we can attempt.
That will be a 25.
Yeah, with 25, definitely you manage to secure the channel even better. You find ways to increase its security and protection from interference and everything, and an extra layer of code on top of it, so to say. And you feel like, it's the connection is secured and strong. Like you did your best, and should be solid.
Go sit down and be uncomfortable somewhere else.
One more thing before we land, Marduk is gonna do actually something useful. He's gonna go and pull up the charts for the colony, and he's going to get familiar with the area and surveil it, find possible landmarks, stuff like that.
So, how the colony is, it's in a very nice area, because it's been in the sort of say briefing, and once people decided to migrate over there, one strong point is because of its beautiful vistas and views, which is quite unique and in a way alien, yet it's positioned somewhere close to a cliff that leads down. It has sort of a beach area further down next to this green sea that encompasses the planet, and the city itself, it's as I said, it's still in development, only 40 years since its establishment, and but it does have a central park in the middle and various other institutes around. And in terms of landmarks, there would be a headquarters of the Abadar Corp, who has established there. They have some mining operations going on. They do have quite an interesting Church of Triune, since a fact about this planet is that it's naturally emitting a drift beacon signal, which is pretty much unheard of for the planet to emit this. There were no constructions, so to say, that on the planet or in orbit to notice this, but the planet itself emitted this, and the priests of Triune saw this almost like a holy land, and so it was a quick immigration pull from them for settling there. Quite a nice, beautiful church. And they do have a quite impressive research facility over there, in which they do study the unique geology and mineralogy, the minerals basically, of the planet, and other things regarding the environment, atmosphere, and everything. But other than that, nothing that stands out.
Murdoch would have one particular thing he would be looking for. He would be looking for the strongest defenses of this particular place. Where would it be, let's say, where would the guards live? And how many weapons would they have?
Yeah, definitely. You do see that they do have like a police station combined with barracks of sorts, in which you believe would be. It's not quite in the center, but a bit off the central park where everything.
He's gonna make a mental note to check that.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, it is there.
Because this colony has gone off the grid for a while now, with nothing going through to it, Isaac will also check for a couple of things in databases he's prepared for the mission off the infosphere. First, he's gonna look for anything like the latest, they're probably not up to date, but the latest personnel manifest of the colonial population index or anything like that. Any listing of who's there, and just download it to his HUD to have it ready.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't think you would need to roll anything, as all of this info was provided to you by the Starfinder Society. The colony was around 400 people. And like important figures, of course, there would be Lihas Kasi, the original explorer that stumbled upon this signal mainly by accident, but he found it to be quite a pristine spot. He saw, let's say, potential in this place, and so he went a step further and tried to establish a colony there.
Is it known what he understood the potential to be? Mining potential or other kind of potential?
In a way, mining, but also the thing with the
research,
with the natural emanation of beacon signal that probably he might be religious or something, but knowing that this is important for the god Triune.
So it might have spiritual meaning.
Yeah, exactly. Could see it as a holy land or something for those people.
And being a natural beacon, it could also become a good trade hub.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. Like back in the Packworld systems, it's the most well-known trading place due to the Starstone that sits at the base of Absalom Station, which it's quite strong signal that wherever you might find yourself in the drift, you could get there, and be safe, find a safe spot for landing. But yeah, exactly. So
mining, trading hub, pilgrimage, what's not to love. The last thing he'll look is for the manifests of the past rescue missions that have gone missing. About how many have tried?
Yeah.
And about what was on each of those ships.
Okay.
Past incursions.
You would have gotten a few of them, probably around 4 or 5 ships. None of them that hold significant importance to you, probably, or either civilian ships or some personal trade vessels.
All sent by Abadar?
There is one that seems to be more official. There is the SS Fortune's Anchor. That does have the imprints and everything that would be an official Abadar Corps ship. That you've heard they've sent it as a scouting party previously, yet did not make it back. Or
was the Fortune's Anchor bigger, smaller than the Love Boat?
It would have been slightly bigger, not a battle cruiser or anything, but it's almost like a frigate.
Is there any record of its captain?
Of its captain, sure. You would have found out that it is
owner,
would be a male Isoki called Zif.
I'll do some research on him, asset him up, and that's
Okay,
it.
that's perfect. Right, so as time marches on and the hour of your escape or warp out of the drift draws near, the ship's AI makes one last announcement saying, strap yourselves on, boys. We've about to emerge out of the drift. Be steady. And with that, the coordinates there flash up one last time, and it beeps out engaging warp out into real space. And after a bit of rumbling from the ship, the view in front of you almost opens up like a tear in this almost void-like space, almost tears up, which beyond you start again seeing stars. And you emerge and the tear closing behind you. And you are now in orbit of Korth YB0, a planet that, looking from above, you see it's quite large for a planet size, and you see the lands that have reddish grounds, and it's surrounded by green sea. It has these two coloration that intertwine various points. It has two large natural satellites orbiting around it, and the blue plasma star that's over there helps with setting the scene quite nicely. Yet in the distance, you do see that there is a point on the planet from where it seems that there is a mist almost escaping into the into space, made up of purplish stardust of sorts.
Yeah, that don't seem no good.
And you get there. Fortunately, you did instruct the ship to sort of put you a bit further away. And so you do see that. Yet, after checking a bit on your data pads and everything, coordinations, it does coincidentally match with where the colony would be, exactly where the place of this emanation also happens.
So it would seem that there's a cosmic spout coming out of this here planet right upon wherever the colony used to be, I think.
I'm quickly tapping on the tablet. I'm trying to see what the sensors actually say about this.
Yes, you could either roll me computers or even try Unlore.
I'll try computers. I'm slightly better.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
Sure, you can roll computers as well.
Luckily, I have 30 computers. I seem to know exactly where to go.
And
hopefully.
Oh, 31 then total. Yeah, there's no denying it. It's the same not material, but gas or plasmatic field and everything that it's found in the drift. So whatever is happening there, it's either siphoning it or releasing it. Something is happening there, but it is the same signal structure as those found in there.
This seems like a tear in the drift or towards the drift.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah.
Can we send the signals outside? Because I do remember that the reports told us that once we are close to the planet, nothing goes in or out in terms of signals as well.
Yes. So right now, yes, if there is anything you wish to...
Life science scan, for example.
Yeah. Scanning on the planet, right. Because of that number, it would be included in this, because you went through all the sensors and scanners. And life science, well, basically, there would be a few scattered here and there. Of like, you don't particularly get what they are, yet you do remember. You've been also briefed that there are some life forms over there, some very aggressive predatory beings known as Vesper hounds that are quite large beasts. They are nocturnal though, and they seem to have sensitivity to sunlight. So, yeah.
But they're in wildlife concentration.
Yeah, and they're not in the colony or anything. And even, like, here's the thing, like, you could scan where you are, the surface, yet going past, it would start jamming. Like...
Okay, so when we try to look for anything like a concentration specific to a settlement or a base...
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Fizzles.
I'll ask the AI to do a quick summary of everything the scanners show, and I'll send it to Z's iPad. To send it over to Starfinder.
Don't worry, mate. The ship is already transmitting. I made sure of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of this info was siphoned and filtered through your network, your channel, and yeah.
Okay.
Yet again, this is information that they would have known already. They would have looked for, more specific things.
Yeah, but even the fact that there is like I don't know, a tear in the drift or to the drift, that's information that we did not have before.
Yeah.
So at least we can send that over in case something happens to our transmission capabilities.
Correct. So, what's the plan?
Writing a message to Starfinder Society. Made it. Okay. We'll let you know. XOXO. Send.
I just want to say, look at there, boys, that planet's farting.
That planet is in fact farting. You know those aren't getting to Starfinder, right?
No.
I just got a question. What if there's other ships around? The boys at the base said we've got to take care of the colony, but they ain't said nothing about having a scrap at all them other boys that came for rescue. If them ships is up there, they got precious loot. We could be making ours.
The towing beam is in shape. If we can bring back a whale, that's always good loot.
Right. Let's find ourselves a whale before we get some crumping done on the planet.
First we gotta do Starfinder's thing.
Why?
But Big Boy has the right idea. Can we detect any of the other ships that got reported?
Not really on the scanners, no. They might have been in the disturbance area, or what do you call it? Yeah, the...
How large is the actual disturbance area? Does it encompass the whole research facility, or is it smaller?
No, it's extended beyond, like...
Okay, so we need to land somewhere outside.
Yeah, but doing some calculations, and with the help of the AI assistants and calculating the most optimal landing spot, would be somewhere almost... Like if you were to land and travel then on foot, would be somewhere around 2 days away.
Okay, so that's big.
Yeah.
That's a big fact.
And we'd advance to the disturbance anyway, right? And even landing outside of it, we then advance into the disturbance.
You can, pilot your ship like while in atmosphere, so to say.
Is it 2 days by foot or 2 days by ship?
By ship it would be even faster, like probably a few hours.
So yeah, I'm thinking we do that. We do land outside disturbance so that the difficult landing isn't made any more difficult.
Yeah.
But then we do hover advance with the ship.
Assuming
that's
it
too
doesn't
much.
have any other impact on the local atmosphere. Maybe it's harder to steer the ship into...
Yep. I mean,
But yeah, let's do phase one. Let's try to land under the atmosphere.
Yeah, every plan's only
Within
valid till...
contact with the enemy.
Yeah.
We can always crash land.
Right, let's do that.
We'll put you as a hit here.
For what now?
You'll love it.
A hit shit, I ain't nothing getting hit. I'll be the one doing the hitting.
Yeah, you'll hit the atmosphere. That's right.
Well, I'll hit anything.
So down we go.
Yep.
All right, you enter the atmosphere, and now you get clearer view of the surface. You start seeing that somehow at the base, like the rocky ground of it, it's orangish in color, yet what gives the redness that you saw from the outside is that the grass blades, the grass and shrubbery, it's mainly red. That gives out this coloration. Yet this scene, it's sometimes this reddish landscape is sometimes broken up due to some trees and other vegetation that looks pure white, and it gives an interesting contrast that some might find beauty in it. And also, now flying past, you would have further a bit the green sea. And in terms of beauty, some would find this quite pleasant looking. And you proceed onwards.
So yeah, once we're in hover mode above the surface outside the disturbance, we'll start jetting into the disturbance, but after landing is complete.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So you advance onwards, and you start getting closer and closer. And as you actually get closer and closer, the way also the light from the blue sun is reflected, and everything, it almost creates some sort of a aurora borealis effect on the sky. It's quite pleasant. Yet this pleasant scenery, it's immediately disturbed due to the fact that what looks to be in the distance a very intense electromagnetic pulse that it's amplified, and you are hit again by some sort of a pinkish purplish stardust. It's not debris per se, but some sort of a snow-like thing that hits your ship, and at that point it disturbs all of our sensories and sensors on the ship. The electrical machinery on board all starts glitching up, and like it flickers for a little bit, but then it gets very disturbing, like a very high disturbance that wriggles the ship to a point that you can no longer maintain control. You try your best, and at this point the ship starts descending intensely. I will need you, Captain, to roll me a piloting ship skill.
24 to crash land.
To see how well you maintain.
24 to crash it.
24. That's impressive. That's quite good. And you're trained in just trained. Okay. Luckily you weren't flying quite high up. Yet the disturbance still manages to shake you up a little bit, and there are a few items in your starship that just smack around and hit you in various places. Captain Isikab did quite a good job to not make it violently, this crash land. It just the initial impact, it's more nasty than anything else, because afterwards it skids for a little bit quite gracefully. Yet all of you would still take 15 points of damage from all the impact, things crashing into you and bludgeoning you all over the place, smashing you in some walls.
What the hell was that?
Pip, let me issue you a slight query. Why is our love boat not EMP proof?
Because we needed a third generator for that.
Right. We need to steal a third generator.
That's what I've been saying. We gotta be looting. It's gonna be finding some spaceships and some slaves. Who's gonna get a proper loot out of this? Marduk ain't getting hit for nothing.
We can install it in his room.
Right. I'll be taking the loot.
I checked. I can't sleep holding it. I checked the distance on foot calculation to the colony remaining.
You are getting quite close to the outside radius of this, though it did seem that something happened that gave out this burst, and probably again with your computer's check that you did previously and with all the calculations, you saw that the radius suddenly expanded, like it just grew larger. Something,
pulsed.
yeah, it pulsed basically, yeah, exactly.
That looked like somebody did something inside.
Oh, you think it's for us? I hope it's for
Where?
us.
We're famous, you know.
I'm for sure it's fucking gonna be. To this colony at least. Still, what distance on foot to the colony?
A day travel.
Oh, we're a
We're fine.
shit away from it.
Given my previous surveillance of the area, would I have any idea where we are and how to get there? Maybe even a bit faster?
Yeah, you would have known because it was basically the trajectory you are taking with the ship. Straight ahead.
Yes, but I imagine that the landmarks on ground may be a bit different, and the terrain we would cover on ground may be a bit different.
Oh,
Be a
okay,
survival
I
to
get
make
you.
a route.
For that, for sure, it would require survival to find a more optimal route, let's say. But that would be mainly to adapt to the land itself, to know
On the way.
Yeah, pretty much, and I would allow, and I will allow that. Do you guys do anything else?
Right.
No, do you?
Take an hour, pack yourself up in medical, get your shit. We're huffing it.
Right.
Back
Good morning.
and
I'll be a nurse. Come on, let's pack these boys up.
Yeah, we'll have time to spare.
Right.
So I guess we finish it in with 5 of us in
Roughly an hour or so.
By the way,
20
now
minutes. 20 minutes.
I'll just say that
20 minutes.
as you landed, actually, give me somebody a nature check,
Nature.
because it is an alien planet after all.
It's 22.
Okay, that will do it. You do gather, like you did some calculation. What's the spinning axis of the planet? Where would the like sun rise from and everything? You did all of those calculations in your head, and you managed to understand that now it's almost at sunrise. That
Okay.
you're now. So
Do we have any idea if it's normal temperature on the planet or?
you've been informed that, yeah, like gravity, it's also normal, and atmosphere normal, yeah.
And when you say a day until the research facility, is it like 24 hours day or 8 hours day?
It's a work day.
Exactly.
Business day or
Exactly.
It would be like a traveling day, we'll say. Like
Okay.
it's not
So-
24 hours, but a traveling day.
So we're gonna reach it next morning.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then it's time to get our shit and move.
Does short resting get us patched up from the crash?
In,
Yes.
in a, yeah.
Cool.
20 minutes for all of us.
So yeah,
It's too good.
grab your rations, grab your armaments, grab your
Key keys.
upload your intel to your suits. Those of you with tech suits, and yeah, let's meet the wildlife.
Yeah, and don't carry too much. We have looting to do.
Right. Now listen here, boys. We're gonna find ourselves a good scrap the first thing we do once we get out. And we's gonna show them we's the boys. Cause we's the boys and we's the Snuggle Reavers. That's what these kids gotta know.
+1.
Motivating speech right there.
Exactly. Inspirational.
Yeah.
That's why we have him around.
I would also give each some potions, like previously discussed. But I also want to try to give Kiki a potion, syringe, and tell Kiki that. Try to convince Kiki that if they stab Marduk with it, it will take him by surprise and it will sting. So maybe that would be enjoyable for Kiki.
If he does that, he will die. No, he will die.
It's a normal potion, like the syringes that I also use on you. It doesn't deal damage, but I'm trying to convince Kiki to, get a free action from Kiki when needed.
He will probably die.
He takes the serum, he smells it, he takes a bit of a lick. Tasty. Yes, I'll use it. Maybe. Okay. Alright.
Then it's
So-
time to roll out.
We'll see if Kiki dies.
Probably gonna die. Gretchen paste.
Lock the doors.
You know what it'd be cool if we could get like a small vehicle bay and get like an outrider and get maybe some jet bikes or some shit. That'd be fun.
What's a fecal bay?
Not a fecal bay, but vehicle bay. A fecal bay. Let's not get a fecal bay.
Right.
It has tanks. You can put tanks in it.
Oh, you got a tank on me back.
Bigger
Full of
tank.
stuff.
Bigger tank.
Right.
More
Use a
Kikis.
bigger tank. Fly around for more.
And field trip begins.
Yeah, as you exit through the airlock and everything out into the wilds, you're immediately hit by the smell that it smells nice, fresh, like I don't know, the fresh mountain air infused with a little bit of mint, and like the air itself, it's quite refreshing and nice. As you start heading out in the direction, we'll see what you encounter on the way. After, we'll take a small break, everybody, and we'll be back with the exploration bit. So, see you in a bit.
Like and subscribe, dear viewer. Like and subscribe. Not that I wish to imply you've been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a break than viewers, but all our efforts on this channel would have gone to waste unless, well, let's just say your moment to like our videos has come again. The right viewer in the right place can make all the difference in the world. So subscribe, dear viewer. Subscribe and grow this channel.
We are back, resuming our adventures on this alien planet, where we see these brave spacefarers making their exit out of their love boat into this, at the moment, quite nice looking environment. You start journeying, and here and there in the distance you see other life forms, which probably haven't been mentioned before because they seem to be peaceful. You see a sort of gazelle in the distance that has a bit more elongated neck, almost like of a giraffe. It has three set of eyes on each side of its head, and grazes on some grass and shrubbery. And there are other various birds with two set of wings and strange small arms as well underneath. So there is life on this planet, some more peaceful than others. And you start journeying. For the first 2-3 hours, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Also, I just remember now, we were talking about those survival checks to hopefully make the trip to reduce the time. So whoever wants to take the lead on this, roll me a nature check.
Who's good at
Nature, not survival?
Or survival, yeah.
Who's the
you're right.
expedition leader? Who's good at this stuff?
I am pretty decent at it.
Got
Let the big boy then.
an 8 bonus on survival.
We're going broad, yeah.
Let's see. It's a 28.
28. Okay.
You have a good nose for the loot.
Yeah, always know where to go to have a good crumb.
So, the thing is, yeah, you are here in plains, but there are also cliffs and a bit of escalation in altitude in some parts, which, with your expertise, you find the best ways to traverse. You find the best slopes to ascend and make your trek even smoother. Which this would cut some time off your travels by approximately 2-3 hours. So we'll say that there's a chance if you were to push through the night, you could reach a colony. But until that happens, after 2-3 hours into your trek, you start noticing that even though, yeah, the terrain, as I said, it's elevated in parts, there are some hills, cliff sides that on your right side lead further on to the sea, but you start noticing here and there like massive cracks in the earth, resembling those of almost like earthquakes that have shattered the space. And I'll need you all to roll me some perceptions, please. Because regarding this, you might see some interesting stuff. Yeah.
26.
Ooh.
27.
Natural 28.
So that's okay. Yeah, it's good. So I'm guessing that the three of you, as you're traversing these earthquakes, cracks, at some point, you might have to do some detours on the sides. Yet, in one of them, that's a bit further away from your path, but not too out there. You three spot that. Where this earthquake is, emerging from it, it's almost hovering to the edge of it. You see a very strange crystal that's flickering there in the distance, that definitely pulsates, and it's definitely a strange encounter. Like, yeah, you've seen glowing crystals or whatnot. These ones are floating. And the one that had the most of them, squinting a little bit, you also notice it has some things inside, but it's too far away to determine what's what.
So there's a floating crystal in the middle of a chasm?
Not right in the middle. Yeah, there would be a gap, almost like 20 feet wide, and emerging from it, standing, yeah, on top of it, it's this one.
Yo. That's weird.
That's valuable.
That's hard to carry.
Hard.
Not if you all pull together, boys.
Oh, I'd argue it's easy to carry. It's carrying itself, but what I find intriguing about it is
Would we
it's
be
floating.
able-
It's got gravity imbued. It's defying gravity. Something's very interesting there.
would we
But it's
be-
valuable.
I would say it's priceless.
I would. Fuck stars.
I would say to people like me and other people that could be very valuable, and it looks like nobody owns it.
Looks like we're operating a star brothel, boys.
I like how he's developing.
That is a mineral, right?
Yeah.
Right. So huffing it all the way back to the ships. Can we even move it? Somebody try.
Right, I can try. I'll look now.
Right. So, as you're getting now closer to it, you would be now, we'll say, 30 feet away. 30, 40 feet away from this thing, but it now becomes the picture clearer a little bit as this crystal is quite large. It would be like 15 feet tall and quite a bit wide in diameter, having smaller pieces, shards just floating around it. But what is interesting is that what you saw there in the middle now becomes clearer, and it seems to be some kind of circuitry, like circuit boards that have some wires and that extend on the inside, and there seem to be some sort of symbiotic relationship almost between the powers of the crystals and the tech things that are inside of it. And yeah.
Do we have any plants around?
Plants a bit further away, but
Fungi or something?
no.
Ah, okay.
Other than Marduk.
I'm trying to determine whether the crystal is floating itself or it's being lifted up by something underneath, some sort of
Okay.
force.
You go look in the chasm. It goes deep a lot, and no, you don't see any beams or anything because you look down. It's nothing.
We can try to push it and see if there is any gravity holding it. We have people with jetpacks.
I will allow you, Pitstop, to roll me a Triton lore check.
Okay.
I know you've got that.
It's gonna be a 25 lore.
25, yeah.
It seems familiar.
It's not like you've seen it before, yet they do give you like pops up memories of when you've read about Triune and probably did pilgrimages or tried to understand what's all about. And you remember that where Triune has his city in the drift called Alluvion. Over there, there have been mentions of, in that place, existing these sort of tech crystals, as they're known,
Okay.
which hold various powers. Like, they could be used also to prevent void exposure, or in some cases to power up very advanced technology. Some like devoted religious people call it like the new philosopher's stone, as it also known to emanate faint psionic and empathic enchantments that it has it placed on it. It's definitely a thing that combines the magic and technology in one. Something that, yeah, it's all been mentioned to exist in Alluvion.
So I share with my colleagues that it seems to be like a drift artifact that blends together magic and technology. I have no idea what it does.
Is it the source of all this, or is it the consequence of all this?
I wouldn't be able to say, but I would assume it's half and half. It's
valuable.
extremely valuable.
Right,
Especially
we're taking it.
I think we might be taking it all the way back, because unless it tows like a balloon.
You see that? I grab Kiki. He's chained. I throw him on that.
Kiki, grab on.
Okay. He grabs onto it.
And I start pulling.
Okay. Well, at some point there is force holding it in place. Though as soon as Kiki gets on top of it, you see him getting lost and just looking there. There is dribble coming up from his mouth. He's just hugging it. You're tugging at it. He's hugging the crystals. It's quite solid. It's not that easy. Because you get at that point, if you would put too much force, there's a chance you might rip it in half. But not he would lose grip of it.
Kiki ain't dying here.
Maybe
Lucky
chain, wrap the chain around a bit,
Kiki go around him.
like a wedge or something, so that Kiki doesn't rely on power force, on its own force to grab onto it.
And his
Right,
questionable
it's
strength.
weak.
We're gonna start flying, throw the chain around that thing, and then go down and start yanking it.
Right. It's you doing that, right?
Yep.
Roll me a... What was it? I think I have it up here. Yep. Roll me a fortitude save.
Well, it is a 21.
Okay. Cool. You start wrapping around the crystal a large heavy chain, and then imagine getting next to your comrades and start pulling into it. Give me an athletics for this.
Boys, this is a team effort. Who's gonna put your backs into it now?
Right. That's
Wrap
all.
my wide hips and
That's all.
start pulling.
That's not an image I want encrusted too deeply into my brain tissue. But towing this whole thing as a group all the way to the colony, then all the way back to the ship is it would be crazy. It'll slow us down like to a crawl.
Take hold of the ship.
The ship's crash landed.
On the grasslands.
Well, Pip can go on crash landed, but how about we grab this thing on the way back? Because we're closer to the ship than to the colony right now.
Still closer to the ship because this is 3 hours in.
3 out of 21.
Yeah.
Or we could tow it to the ship, but that puts us more than a day away from the colony.
We just got time.
I want to also Underworld Lore to evaluate how much we can make from this
Sure. Yeah.
as a market product. Black market. 23.
Okay. So basically, you go on the market and try to find you search thick crystals, and it just shows you like some toys of a crystal that lights up or whatever, but you don't necessarily find an item that resembles anything like this.
But I do understand what it is.
Yeah, he told
To
you
some extent.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to kind of just use my lore, my understanding of the Underworld to what something like this would make. Is it the price of a ship? Is it the price of a planet? Is it the price
okay.
of a gun?
Comparatively with the price of a starship,
The size of ours or bigger?
bigger.
Yeah, let's throw this back. we absolutely delay
Our mission.
our mission.
While they're working on that, I try to see.
Let's see if we can move it. Let's see if we can actually move it. Because it's all hypothetical, right? We haven't budgeted yet.
Yeah.
Is it throwing any signals though?
So here's the thing. You could try to, let's say, interface with it.
I just want to. Go ahead, sorry.
And what do? Do you approach it to try to see, to feel it? It's
Not yet. First of all, I try to keep my distance and see if there are any electromagnetic readings, any radio readings, anything that emanates from it to the outside.
do you have any gear to measure?
Maybe if a hacking kit works.
No.
Then
Or any spells, but I don't think so.
I don't think this is a computer per se.
It does have some computers in it, but yeah.
There's a religion
that,
stat.
Okay. Then
There would be like
so no
gears.
so no Wi-Fi emanating from this.
no.
Okay.
Try to see if there's any signal coming out of it to connect.
Yeah, exactly.
Has it got a Bluetooth? Has it got a...
Yeah, that's what I'm searching for. So
Yeah.
we have our basic computers interfacing.
Oh, yeah,
so
that,
that's the first.
That's true.
Maybe all spiritual people can pray at it or something.
Yeah.
I'm extremely fascinated by it and very motivated to help Marduk bring it over.
Okay.
I'll keep my distance while I'm at least. It looks like I'm searching for things, and I am conveniently not hearing Marduk's suggestion.
Well, Kiki was on it and touching it. He went stupid.
Yeah.
Now that he's been yanked back, has he gone
He's
Kiki
fine.
again?
He's
Okay.
So he's still stupid.
Regular stupid.
Regular stupid, yeah.
Alright, so I guess we're pulling it.
Sure. Athletics.
Trying to anyway.
Before we do that, Marduk is gonna take a look at that question.
Good. She's gonna get it now. She's gonna be one of the boys, whether you like it or not.
Careful.
I attempt to intimidate the crystal.
Yeah.
First of all, my intimidation is a natural 20.
Yeah. Your words, you feel like it shook the core of it, like the circuitry within it. It's like trembling in fear.
For my athletics, it's a natural 1.
I'm gonna try to help. I'm also gonna grab on the
17 for
chain.
my athletics.
Don't break it.
And I've got a 23.
I got a 13 athletics check.
So, yeah, probably doesn't move, but it's scared.
No, it's you're trying as hard as you can, like, but at that point, like it seems to have some effect. A bit, it shifts, but not enough to do that. And Vizicin, please roll me as well a what do you call a fortitude save.
It's a 23.
Okay.
If Marduk can't move it, then we need to tie it to the ship.
Yeah.
That would be.
I'm not giving up at this. Let's give it one more go.
Fine. One more turn.
But what if
Give it all your star energy.
16?
19.
So I presume,
30
30.
athletics.
and for me, it's
We're all pulling at the same time.
a 25.
At that point, yeah, you do manage to yank it as hard as you can, so that now it's not floating over the chasm, but now it's
Smashing on the
Falling on us.
well, no, because you did a bit of calculation before, I assume. But now, yeah, it's basically next to your feet, the two of you who've been pulling strong, and it's just laying there, still like it's still emanating light, so it's still functioning. if
So
you were to
it
call
was
that.
hovering,
Yeah.
and then we yanked it.
Yeah.
And is it still hovering now?
A little bit, yeah.
Less, more, the
Less,
same?
less.
Okay, so when we yanked it, we reduced its height, hovering height. Or not? That's
it,
what I'm...
it seems like, yeah.
Wait, we pulled it sort of down and to a side.
Hmm.
And now it's static in that place. If we would take the chain off, it would be in the new.
Yeah, yeah. It would still be like, then you try to pull it, would still be heavy, though.
Right, this is gonna be a while. I think we need to get the ship. But what if when we get the ship, more of the welcome EMPs come? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing to
Get ourselves one proper truck then.
Colony might have eagles.
Let's requisition them.
So let's keep going to Colony. Eyes peeled for a strong vehicle.
Okay.
I take a moment to like properly look at the crystal, put my hands on
You want
it.
to, okay.
It's basically
Yeah.
full of gravity.
Yeah.
I want to know how this
Okay.
is possible. It's artificial.
Roll me either a religion or a computers check. And tell me which one you choose.
I'm gonna go with a computer check. I have 7. Actually, that's a 25.
25, yeah. All right. So Definitely, this crystal, as I said, imbues magic with technology, and you opening your mind to it and touching it almost feels like you're interfacing with a computer at the same time, and like you just need to almost imagine it. And through magic it's made manifest as you think on it and interface with some sort of a computer that's now projected in your mind, and it just relays to you some information that is quite vague, but with the 25 you do gather that they all seem to create some sort of a web as they're connected. They're in between them. Especially, there are signals coming from this one to 3 other points that, once you double check with the coordinates of the colony, they do seem to match. As in 3 other, probably tech crystals like this would be over there.
Okay.
But also, there is a lot of overloading data that it's hard to parse and just make any sense of it. But the origin seems to go deep down in the ground.
Okay.
Again, it's scrambled, it's a lot, like you can't make any sense of it, yet you know it's something from deep down in the earth. Yet, this one seems to be also connected to 3 that do match where the colony is, but also other random points that are a bit further away. But
Okay.
you know,
Mate, you okay?
I'm deeply disturbed and yet excited. This could change my whole philosophy. But I'm gonna choose to share with the team that there's a few more crystals, not close by, but there's several of them, I can tell.
You seem deeply disturbed and yet excited. Like, this could change your whole philosophy.
It's more or less the power of a star inside a rock with circuits.
And you couldn't go to Fiddly Town with a real star, but this is a star in a form you can fiddle, ain't it?
I've already put my hands on it.
Yeah, you grew up in that crystal, son fierce.
I absolutely have no idea what he's implying. Like I've definitely fiddled with it both physically and mentally.
melded with this on a deeper level.
It's gonna need more than one truck.
So there's a network these.
That's exactly what there is. There's a network.
So there is a lover boy in him to be found.
Yo, any of you know the geology or some shit? Did this come up from the ground or is it otherwise? I want to know if it's natural or not. Natural.
So that's a nature check.
Looking at the circuitry inside of it, I'd say it's not natural.
Yeah, nature check. I'll
give an evaluation.
The crystal outside of me.
So that's a 12.
I'll try to determine,
no idea,
but
unfortunately.
it's a 19.
So, crystal, you know, why does it have electronics in it?
19.
19.
19. Not really. No idea either.
So nobody can tell me if this is synthetic or natural.
Would I be able to gather from what he tells us whether it's equivalent-ish to a computer? I'm thinking of trying to skim the data, it's a spell I have, to try to practically make sense of all of the information within it.
Definitely you can attempt that.
Okay.
You need, I guess, to get close to it, and it's
I'll get close to it, yeah.
For skim data, do you need the data set already? Or
It's within the crystal. I take all of the data within the system, whatever that is. And I understand the gist of it and can quickly locate the most relevant pages or sections of this search.
Yeah, I'll allow that. But before that, you roll me a fortitude save as well.
Sure. It's a 22. Okay. Fortitude save.
you get
Do I feel anything?
The antivirus. You feel the antivirus.
You feel the sharp edges of the crystal.
It's definitely, this has both magical and electronical techy stuff in it, so even being around it almost feels like there's this aura that's all over you. It's interesting, yet for you, again, it's that sense, the aura that feels somewhat familiar, and immediately, even after you do your spell, there's Triun's influence all over it. Like you gather that this, especially coming from Alluvion, his city, it's imbued with his touch, so to say, of magic and technology. But what you do gather is that you manage to unscramble some of that data that Vizicin also felt, the most of it that's overwhelming, that comes from beneath the planet surface. And what you uncover, not any logs per se, but definitely that this, it's something that originally perhaps was underground, and due to these earthquakes and these natural disasters, popped out to the surface. And you do also gather the fact that it's you get a theory in your head that the core of this planet might be mechanically altered or something.
Okay.
Like, to have also this technology and data of information coming from the origin, which you do also kind of pinpoint it to be in the center of the planet, that there's something technological in there.
Would I be able to pinpoint where the other crystals that it's communicating with are?
Of course, yeah. There are 3 signals that all go towards where the colony is, but others would be a bit further random. I mean, it would be quite a few days of travel.
Would we be able to infer that the colony is in the middle of these crystals?
Not really, like all of the network doesn't create a circle or anything around it.
Okay.
Like they're at random spots.
Okay.
Just that there are 3 signals.
Okay, so 3 signals plus this. So we know 4 crystals.
Yeah,
based
plus
on
the
this.
other random ones which are...
Okay. Okay.
But they're further away. Yeah.
Okay.
You tell us all that?
Of course.
So is what you're saying is that this planet might be acting as a beacon because it has a big old beacon inside.
Yeah, and maybe it has a sentient beacon inside it.
Or what will make it sentient?
What would make it sentient?
What makes you think it might be sentient?
Well, it's a computer inside it, and in this day and age, you have androids everywhere.
Well, the sentience of them is highly debatable.
Do you not believe an android is sentient?
I think that's a very complicated question, best discussed in a pleasure house. So there's plenty of these we could tow.
So, we're just gonna make ourselves some proper trucks. We're just gonna take these loot. And we're gonna skiff off in the distance with enough loot to buy ourselves a friggin' armada.
Yeah, 'cause like the electronics inside them's man-made, but I'm wondering if the crystal matter, like it itself, is artificially like made, or
I'm not a
it
geologist,
got
man.
encased in. But I know, but I'm curious about it. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I'm gonna take on that one.
Food for thought.
Right, let's get trucks.
What I don't understand is why you were able to find this out in basically a day, but they've had years. They must have known. Yet why is it still advertised as a natural point?
Because like probably when these popped out, they fucked shit up.
And maybe they wanted to draw people like Z here to worship it, and money from tourism.
So they are valuable.
Exactly. So crystal money and people money makes a lot of money.
Z, look. Z, if you want to lick it, we can all turn our backs.
I won't. I want to see it.
He has to pull down his mask and stuff. We gotta give him privacy. He wants to lick it.
Kiki can watch.
I've already gotten all I want from it. I don't think licking it would. I've already touched it.
Yeah, you're all done?
I've already fiddled.
You
with
finished?
It. I've already fiddled it quite well.
If you finish, Z, then fine. We can.
He has friends, and his friends would pay for being able to lick it.
Oh, there's a whole community, you people?
Well,
Let's just let it sink in that he just confirmed he has a tongue.
Gotcha.
how do you think I talk?
We keep advancing.
All right. You keep advancing, and after 4 more hours of journey, that nothing particular happens. Although, you start seeing more and more of these cracks in earth here and there. But after 4 hours, give me a second here. I need more dice. After a few more hours, you, Murdoch, and you, Pitstop, start coughing blood. And you don't take much damage, only 8 points of damage, and your second one. As you don't know, it's a feeling of it's from the inside, almost like your tissues, organs. They're aching. It's just aching all over your body, and you cough up blood. It's nasty.
I want to check if if they are infected with radiation poisoning or something else. But I'm suspecting radiation poisoning.
It is quite a common, but not manifestation, like cause or of radiation sickness, what you're witnessing. And because they feel fatigue, nauseous, you need to roll me a medicine check.
Can I help him?
Sure.
It's 24 for me.
Okay, you get a +1.
So that's 33.
That's a critical success. This is extreme radiation sickness that they're going through.
Okay.
And it's, if not treated, could lead to even death.
So
But it's an
Is it the
affliction.
planet? Is it the planet? It can't be the crystal.
it might be, I think, the device. I mean, he
But look,
touched the
he's fine.
crystal. Yeah.
So are you saying our man here got an STD from the crystal
Yep.
while Z here was protected?
He knows how to deal with it. Yep.
He knows his crystals.
His god protects him apparently.
Pitstop, you gotta use protection, man. Especially when interfacing with weird, sexy crystals.
See, that's why you're the captain, and I'm just a mere crewman
And I'm the war boss.
who got an STD like a
It's not an STD.
The SSD got him.
Yeah. You got it wrong, Doc. No trip.
Anyway, we can solve this.
I don't know the mechanics. Yeah.
We have.
From what I've researched, please correct me if I'm wrong, but to treat afflictions requires downtime activity.
Not necessarily. I mean, it requires 10 minutes to 1 hour. If it is a poison or a disease,
It's a disease.
we can treat it via medicine. It's similar to how one would treat a wound.
Okay. Then, we'll go with that.
Is it
But
considered?
yes, it does require 8 hours.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a downtime thing.
Okay.
So that depends on when you do it.
So next
How,
time.
how bad is it?
It's pretty bad. How long are we until we reach the destination?
Till you reach the destination, again due to the good survival check, you would have 7 more hours. You would need to push through the almost night, because here also the day cycle, it's not per se 24 hours. It's more around 30.
So how would the damage be manifesting in this case?
You wouldn't know. It's a thing I know.
Okay, I see.
When it gets more severe, but the thing, mechanically speaking, is that you're allowed to do another save each time things happen.
Listen, boys, I know this much. If it's radiation, he needs his blood cleaned, and that's not fast. I say we head on through to the colony, and hopefully there we find a safe spot where we can get his blood cleaned.
Alright, let's hustle, boys.
If we notice that they're dying on the way there, we can stop at that point, but...
Yeah, and
No, we move faster. We move faster. If we're dying, we move faster. We don't stop.
Yeah, what is off? Yeah.
Right. So,
we're pushing through.
dibs on his data pad.
Lives on his room.
Fair enough.
Here's on Kiki.
Is Kiki okay?
I rolled for him initially and I got an 18. I'm not sure. I assume he has some pluses acolo. Some maybe small, but 18.
Good enough.
Positive.
I was talking about the event of Pitstop's demise, but if you guys want to dibs each other's stuff, that also works.
Oh, you're already planning for my
Well,
demise.
you know, just in case. You gotta
What
be
kind of
prepared.
captain are
It
you?
wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. Exactly what I was saying.
Let's go fast. Maybe he makes it.
Right.
Maybe.
You advance for 2 more hours, and I will need fortitude saves for both of you again.
Once every hour?
I will hero point this.
22 for me.
It's a natural 20. Yeah.
Natural 20. This, reduces your stages, so you're
By
cured.
22 for me.
Unfortunately, you it doesn't seem to stop for you, this radiation sickness. And
Right.
you
Always wondered how your life tastes like.
11 points of poison damage and sickened 2.
I'm barely holding on.
Do I drop my second condition as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for the second, because I was looking this up earlier, you can reduce the condition.
No,
you
as long
can't
as you-
reduce the affliction though.
As long as you have the radiation poisoning, you can.
Okay.
So it goes away with the source.
Okay.
The source of the thing.
Right then. But yeah, for you now, you feel even more intense burns. You're starting to sweat.
This is not
Yeah.
going well.
Oh, we need the nerd for a lot of things.
Right.
How
I'm
about
not feeling well. Not feeling well at all. How far are we from the colony?
So after 2 more hours, 5 more hours.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
let's try 1 more hour at least.
Would medical attention help with his save?
Yeah, it's a treat
I
disease, I think, or something.
Not sure.
Treat disease is the 8-hour one.
It's the 8-hour thing.
Okay. Then, as bad as I'm feeling,
You sure you can't quick mix something up for him? Can you quick mix something, maybe?
You could. Here's the thing, because you could restore his HP, but not his second condition or his affliction
Right.
rate or
maybe
stage.
some iodine pills in there.
maybe we should. Worst case scenario, Mardu carries me.
Right, I carry it.
No.
I mean,
So let's talk about fingers. How many of them you need?
all of them. All of them would be nice. Thank you.
How about toes?
Are you
I
bloody?
need. Not yet. No.
Maybe you maybe Mardu could carry Pitstop, and I would also be on top of you, treating Pitstop.
A tower of companions.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfectly adequate medical facility.
Yeah, exactly.
A dog, a set of shoulders.
I was telling him I need all my fingers, and you need all my fingers as well. So no touching the fingers.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Right, let's see how we handle it. On foot for now.
10 fingers,
10 fingers.
starting with 10, finishing with 10.
Just
Oh. Meantime, I'm thinking, floats like a star, it burns like a star.
Amazing.
Basically a star.
If you write a poem about it, you should recite it to us.
Cool. So,
Can we hustle
Yeah.
or move faster?
definitely.
So we're waiting for one more check on his part, and then.
Yeah, this would happen after 2 more hours, but in the meantime, there's something else that you spot, not very far off, but it's quite easy to spot, as there is this very large starship that is also crashed a bit more violently than how yours was, as this seemed almost to be split in 2 parts, almost like leaving a massive gap in the middle. Yet from the outside you see it as being having almost this brass-like panels and hull, and adorned here and there with motifs that are almost golden. Yet you do manage to spot, even through some dust that's been covered on it, that it says on the side SS Fortune's Anchor, which you remember to be the the scouting starship sent by Avedar Corp here.
Maybe they have some anti-rats.
As soon as we spot them, Mardu starts yelling,
Mine, 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 mine.
I'll just call dibs on the anti-rats.
I'd say we call dibs on whether we find any living crew members.
Yeah, I said mine.
It's, right, let's try to see if there's anybody alive to claim all of this before.
If they're alive, let's make them not so.
I'd advise against that.
Well, first we talk to anyone, and then
Yeah.
we see if they become loot or not.
Just in case there's someone there, I would prepare 2 injections for Pitstop, so you regain 36 hit points.
That's a lot of injections. Yeah, that's a lot of injections. It feels slightly better. So thanks, babe. I owe you some extra credits on the next time we get to the casino.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds nice.
Right, so the
Still
scenery
couple
is like half of the ship. It's torn, and it's on a slope angle, dangling from a part of an elevated cliff, and the other one, which seemed to be more of the front of the ship, that's pretty much in front of you as you're heading towards it, and half of it that's on an angle, quite nasty. That's over there, and you start looking around. And first thing is that you do notice that there are quite a few bodies, and that there has been some sort of a makeshift camp, but not really a camp. It's just been some clothes put, like a cloth line of sorts that's been put to protect against the weather in there, and they've made some sort of a small encampment thing at the base of the ship. Yet
Survivors.
yeah, pretty much. Yet also in that said camp, you see limbs and torn parts of people made by, who knows, an attack from savage beasts, and who were taken by surprise. Yet, yeah, just a few scattered bones remain here and there, but nothing else. And you start, if you were to look inside the front part of the ship, It's just a lot of broken equipment. It's a mess, like torn down, like servers and the like interfaces that are destroyed. There are still some sparks flowing from beneath the boards and from the sides. It's been quite a nasty crash land. And looking on the other side, that's at an angle. You do spot the back of the ship, and I think you could roll me. I think it's a cub. Not intelligence. I think it would help that underground lore. We'll go with that. I'll tell you.
A lot. 25.
Okay. In this case, you would know some infos from all the shady websites you go on. On
Dark infosphere.
Yeah.
The grey web.
The grey. Yeah. Each Abadar Corp starship has some sort of a vault in it. Almost, it's a thing of theirs that resembles almost like those round circular doors from a bank. You see one when you're looking up this sloped angle that they do have in the back. This circular door. It looks more mechanical, like it has a lot of wiring into it and everything. Yet you see it. That's the vault. It's there. And
A few questions on the way here.
yeah.
Outside, were there blood spatters?
There were, yeah.
But they were not fresh.
No.
On the inside, were there also corpses?
Yeah, a few. There are less. More like corpses of like people having stuff falling on them with, yeah, they're...
On the outside, they were spread to bits. The remains were
Yeah.
spread out. On the inside, there's skeletons, or
They're
also
basically on the way to decomposing. Like
right.
they still have a bit of flesh on it though.
Okay.
Smells nasty.
So
and
on
all
the
that.
outside, something tore them to pieces. On the inside, it's where they fell.
Yeah, from the crash impact mainly. You get it.
Okay. From the look of this ship and the look of the corpses, what sort of ship did this seem to be? A scout ship, a military ship, freebooters like ours?
Scout ship. Oh, one more thing to mention is that on that sloped part of the ship, the back one, there are a lot of debris that had fallen and it's now at the base, sort of. And amongst those, looking around, you see a lot of mainly like mining equipment. There's also a very broken, almost like power suit armor that would be used for heavy drilling and whatnot. But yeah, this ship, Abadar Corp told you that it's a scouting ship. Yet also you see that they probably were delivering some mining goods here as well, or at least trying to.
I would have checked really early on if the computer is alive.
The computers, like, they barely fizzle. Like, those that are in the front... actually, this is the thing. You notice that those in the front are totally decoupled from the back of the ship, where you gather that the engines and all the power source, it's at the back. Because when you look up this slope, you do still see flickering... terminals and everything, but again, very badly damaged. Yet on the other side, it's silent. It's nothing.
So the reason the computers are not working because they're not linked to the power source.
To the power source, yeah.
So I can fix that. Because I'm a Prismani, I'm a living battery, so I can just power things with my electric arc if required.
Up to the captain.
What I would have done at the same time you would have checked this is the moment we see that there are remains of previous inhabitants, I would have started trying to detect thoughts, looking in a 30-foot area from me.
For any
Looking for any kind of thoughts to see if there are any people, any animals, or more intelligent animals.
Nothing other than your companions. You do not spot anything.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find out what's happened here, and after we find out what's happened here, we're gonna focus on trying to hack open their vault. But with the where is the computer's core memory storage and processing? Is it in the comms in the front or somewhere else?
This depends, because pardon me.
Ask Pip where the computer core would be.
And this depends again from ship design to ship design. Yet, if you would have, let's say, full access, you could access this info from any terminal. Because if anything, if the database, let's call it, every old sensitive info would be stored not on a local computer, somewhere on the cloud.
Are there any consoles in the still powered part of the ship?
Yes.
Okay, I just head to one of those then.
There would be angled, here's the thing, because it's quite steep. You would need to crawl almost, but you do find a way to prop yourself in a thing. And first, the thing is, first of all, let me check something, because you might need to roll me a craftings check before anything else, as these are not quite in the pristine condition, so you might need first to rewire some things.
If it needs fixing, then I will hoist Pip up and have him fix things before I get hacking.
Fixing?
Do the thing where you make it functional.
So I'm thinking a computer.
A crafting one to rewire one and to repair, basically to fix.
So, is this basically a Starfinder Society ship?
No, it's an Abadar core.
Okay.
Ship.
30.
Oh yeah. So at first you try to smack it with something, it doesn't work. You rip open a panel over there and go inside the ship, like in some cracks in there, and from the inside you manage to do all of your magic.
You see my tail wiggling.
Oh god, again, it's quite nasty, but at some point you find the blue, red and yellow wires and you connect them appropriately and all other stuff to a point which, the screen now flickers, and whatever backup power this ship had, you managed to reroute it to activate it,
And then hacking jack goes directly into try and get credentials.
Computers.
While I'm there inside, I hit my head and I remember, oh wait, I have a formula for that. And I patch a quick infusion alchemy and give you anti-plague for +2 saves for 24 hours against it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Damn,
Thanks,
nice
Pip.
one.
While all of this is happening, I'd like to start gathering the bodies in a sort of in a row, or take a picture of them. Document the dead and try to burn them with a solar shot.
As a Solarian does. But fair.
Arda would like to find explosives or weapons or something sharp. Or a working vehicle.
Shiny steel.
Something
The
shiny.
only, vehicle more like power armor.
There's the ship, but the front fell off.
You could consider it a vehicle, would be that heavy duty construction
Mining rig.
Yeah, exactly. But that's in a very bad condition.
Make its condition probably worse.
Regarding weapons, you would find just a few assortments of more like basic rifles, some pistols, but nothing to catch your eye per se.
No, I'm taking all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm strapping them onto me.
I'll give you those in a bit, but yeah, sure.
How many people did you find?
How many people did I find?
those that were only at the camp, they would be around 6 of them. Inside there would probably be a few more, 10 more or something.
Okay.
If we compare this with the crew manifesto we got, is this more, less, or exactly?
It would be the same.
So we found, in theory, all of the people that were supposed to be here.
Most probably, yeah.
No survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So free loot. Nobody to claim it.
Oh, I claimed it.
Technically,
Technically.
I'm just saying this to you guys. This belongs to Abelard Corp.
Well, it crashed in an area that
Practically,
it's nobody's.
we got here and we found it like it was.
It's like part of the environment. Can you claim a rock?
I just did.
Practically, we can just say we got here when we found it looted.
Or maybe it burned out when you burned the bodies with them and, you know, a lot of fire.
I've got enough information to put in my report that people died in the crash and people died. Some people survived in the crash. People were attacked when we got here, already dead.
And the ship fell into the earthquake
Who knows?
chasm, and it was never heard from
Who
again.
knows what else happened? Just be careful.
Right, and back to Isakab. Did you roll the computers?
25 to hack.
25, very good. That's a very good roll, yeah, because you did at first glance saw that the encryption on this is quite tightly secured. Yet, yeah, you have some experience with this. It's not your first rodeo, and so it takes you a bit of time, but nonetheless, you, as they say, amen. Yeah, and so. At that point, yeah, you access the ship's database and do find some logs that they do report their journey from the packed world systems to here, some weird encounter that happens in the drift as it does, but nothing that affected them majorly. And the last log would be again as a sort of official report that was about to be sent back to the packed world system, but don't think it managed to get to. That says regarding the fact that we've lost control over our ship systems. We are losing altitude at a rapid pace. We hope we will recover from this, and if anything, we will report further our findings and investigations.
They got the
And we'll say, if not, this might be the last log of Captain. I did say his name. I forgot it. Sorry. Zith. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, basically no useful info. Yet what it is useful is that with this high of a roll, you do find the option to override controls to the vault door to open it.
One thing.
Yeah. No, and also you see that there is also, we're supposed to be protective turrets, which you do find out that they are powered by the backup generator, and you could as well just disable those as well.
I disable those for safety the moment I find them. But then second, I check in what their angle of approach was. Were they landing into the storm? Or did they land outside the storm and come in like we were?
From the orbit, like they were losing altitude, and then they just crashed.
So they came into the storm range.
Yeah.
It's considered when them having a similar pulse like it does.
Pretty
But
much.
they were a lot higher up and
Yeah, exactly.
crashed to the atmosphere.
Altitude, yeah.
Okay. Good thing we went around, because we could have ended up like these boys. All right, then to the vault. It's party time. And I unlock it.
Yeah, I'll leave you guys. to this.
Surprisingly, it's quite a small vault. Like you open the door, you're expecting to see a hallway full with gold, or well, credits in this case. You open the door and it's a small chamber. Yet it does have in one of the now torn down servers, you still do manage to interface with it and pick from there 1,000 credits. And you also see that in this vault there are also a storage of UPBs, Universal Polymer Base, which they're very good at crafting, yet some people even consider this as a currency. And you get a total of 2,000 UPBs, which they're equivalent, like one UPB is 1 credit, but in total with those it comes up to 3,000 credits. And another thing that you find it in behind one panel, glass panel that you open it. It's in there a pair of goggle lenses that you take them, you inspect them, and they do have almost like a crystalline reflection into them. Like you look through them, they're quite nice.
Where are these for?
You know.
I inspect them. Do I roll anything or can I tell?
Here I may require help from you guys who played more. Is there an identify thing?
Yeah,
or
it depends on the what type of item it is.
Okay, I see.
If it has no specific tradition, then it's any of the 4. Arcana,
Crafting.
occultism, crafting.
26.
Oh, very good.
You definitely know.
Yeah. These are X-ray vision goggles, which they are in a way powered. They do have like a more thick frame on them with some glowing LEDs and everything. But you identify them as X-ray vision goggles. Crystalline lens goggles, as they're called, and allows you once per day to cast X-ray vision spell.
Okay, and it's the one I think that you can see through a certain thickness depending
Exactly,
on the
yeah.
material. Okay.
And also would allow, this I'm not exactly sure, but I'm the DM, would allow you to see invisible things, like more heat waves and everything, like, that sort of thing.
Handy. And these creds will be good liquidity. In case we want to make some along the way, there's plenty of UPBs for you. Are they hard to carry?
UPBs, no. 1,000 UPBs, it's 1 bulk.
Do you have room for all 2,000 to bulk?
I don't remember how much I can carry.
We can carry money
Somewhere
all the day,
between.
all the time. We're gonna make room. We have enough room.
These UPBs are
bulk is some.
It's okay. I can carry them.
These UPBs are interesting. They're
After
almost like grains of sand, yet they resemble sort of liquid metal, almost like mercury, that they don't intersect one with another. They're small particles that they wobble slightly, and they're very dynamic things, but small pieces of them. But yeah.
This is ironically. Can I set the turrets to? Can I code in who are friendlies and who are hostiles for the turrets?
Yeah. You could.
So this is ironically a great resting spot if we want, because we can sleep in a turreted place where if any of the local animals come while we're resting,
We have some kind of protection.
we have turrets to keep watch for us and take him out. And we could also clean his blood finally.
I don't like negative protection because these people is dead.
They died from ship come down fast, go bang, 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 die from bang, bang. Turrets are against raw night animal.
People die inside and people die outside. Where's the fucking turrets come in?
Outside, they died because of the animals.
But where were the tourists then?
Right.
Inside, and they was outside. You see?
Well, that's all stupid that I made it.
We gonna sleep inside where the turret is.
Be quite uncomfortable because again you're at an angle like.
You'll be
almost-
quiet. We're gonna need to improvise hammocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So let's set up some hammocks. Let's get our some dialysis going, I guess. Yeah.
Fine. I'll go around here and treat yourselves.
Yeah.
We improvise a medical hammock and a sleeping kit.
Do any medical equipment survive the crash?
I mean, the thing is, there would still be time until nighttime comes, and you know, Vesper hounds, these aggressive, huge beasts. They only appear at night, so you should still be fine. But here's the thing: so if you were to attempt now to long rest to do your thing, this would take 8 hours, and afterwards it's when nighttime will arrive.
Oh.
How long are we from the
5 hours.
5 hours.
Oh, if we can avoid nighttime altogether, then we keep going. I was under the impression that night is.
It's a bit longer. It's 30 hours, so.
Okay, I thought it
would
was
be like-
gonna be dark before we get to the colony.
No, you would still.
Oh, then let's just huff it.
How much time will we have after we arrive?
After you arrive, and how many hours till nightfall? Do you
Yes, yes.
okay.
1 or 2?
So 3 more hours.
Around 3.
Okay, 3. That's good. That's good.
Fine. You made a good bone, them turrets. I'm taking one.
So then.
They're linked to the generator. They won't do nothing without the generator.
We got a Pippi gonna make it happen.
I clap my hands and. Did that happen?
Right, and then, because I ain't pulling out yet. I'm pulling out the tenant.
Right.
Magical.
They would be at first concealed beneath a panel, but with Isakab's help, he shows you one. You pull it. Give me an athletics one.
It's a 34.
Okay.
30.
Easy enough to do. You let out a good wah before ripping it, but yeah, you now have it in your hands. It's a standard, more like machine gun, which has projectiles, not laser munition or anything, but it's now sparkling. It has its back that's just sparks flying off, and it's.
Put it in front of Pip.
It doesn't have any triggers like how you would shoot these or anything. It doesn't even have a hilt or anything to.
What do you mean? I got all these weapons. You can make it work.
I look at it. I look at the excited orc I see beside me. Why don't we just strap it on you? And
You have to strap it.
yeah, strap it on you, and then
We shall see.
each time you pray. If it works, it shoots. If it doesn't,
That's my Barbie.
So is that a strap-on turret now?
We're in for some dangerous times indeed.
Awesome. You
Head on to the colony.
you hustle and huddle, or like, what's the
so I
word?
still need
Yeah.
to make some checks. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see with +2.
Yeah, I was about to say, because after another hour, another intense pain, you feel it building up within.
Let's see. What does Triumph say? Triumph says critical 20.
Okay, so yeah, that's a double success, which counts as 2 successes, because normally
Yeah.
afflictions would decrease by only 1 stage, but in this case, the magical serum given to you by your friend here, Pip, did wonders.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel-
you felt like it still not really burns, but you feel like the toxins just being eliminated from your body, and
Pip,
Yeah.
you're a lifesaver, literally.
So he did not give you a high as well? I need to improve that.
Any bonus is going to be appreciated, but so far I'm starting to feel better. A lot better.
Remember to drink a lot of liquids.
And while we're moving, I'm also gonna use treat wounds on myself. And for 29, it's my DC is 15, so I just probably 48 OHP again.
Okay, nice. All right. You finish your trek as 2 more hours pass, and you finally start seeing in the distance as buildings pop out in the background. You approach them, and you start seeing that they do have some sort of rudimentary also walls around it to prevent beasts that are out there in the wild, huge ones. Yet, as you approach it, you start seeing more and more of these earthquakes, and you are now a bit at a more altitude, as in to have a high viewing spot on the colony that's in front, and you do spot that there are multiple cracks in this, almost like pretty much half of the city. It's not really gone, but it's either been torn, buildings half broken, half of the other half of the colony. It's the one, unfortunately, that is still quite in development, and it's basically just a few buildings remaining of what this once was. Yet you make your track forward, and at some point reach what seems to be a sort of gate that has a watchtower next to it, and you do spot a Vesk that's looking and say, "Halt! Who goes there? No one is welcome here." And we will see where this conversation goes during our next episode. Because congrats guys, you made it to pristine, and we'll see what the deal is with this next session. But thank you guys very much for sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed. There's a mention I like to give to our friend DK, who helped with the artwork of our fabulous characters here. But until next time, stay safe out there, and what was our thing? Good day, good night, and don't let our vampires bite.